Hello, my friends. Welcome to tonight's live. In just a few moments, oh, here she is. Moments, Pamela will join, and she is very prompt. So, hi guys. Hi, Canella. Hi, Star. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Monica. Hi, Pam.
Hi.
How are you, honey?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you again.
Absolutely. So I'm excited that we have the opportunity to talk about your new deck.
Yay, me too. Thank you for having me on.
It's always a pleasure. Congratulations. It's fun. I've been having a chance to play with it in my downtime, and I really am enjoying it.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see a bunch of our regulars coming on and a lot of new folks joining too. So it's good. We're also going to have a chance to save it. So, even if people can't catch it live, they'll be able to watch the replay.
Yay.
Yay. And your hair is looking fabulous as always.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's so dark here and I don't really have good light. So I was hoping I would have some light on our interview.
It's okay. It's all right. Are you in Vegas?
I'm in Vegas, yes.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I've got the ring light. So that's why it's like creating the reflection off of the cover. So for the folks that are joining us that might not know you or I, we'll start with intros. I'm Danielle from Amityville Apothecary. So I co-own it with Dina. And my guest tonight is Pamela Chen. And you want to do a little intro about your credentials?
Oh, sure.
Pam?
So I'm Pamela Chen, or Pamela Unicorn, and I am a spiritual coach for entrepreneurs, also manifesting mentor and author and deck creator. And Steampunk Fairy Tarot is one of my newest decks that just came out, and I'm so excited to be here.
It's really, really cute. So I had the chance to meet you in Phoenix.
Yes.
I think that was the first time I got to meet you. And then in person. And then we had the opportunity to do the author talk for The Mandarin Tree, which is such a great book that you co-authored with Samantha Blossom.
Thank you.
And, yeah, really enjoy that. And then separately, this is one of my favorite decks, Catacorn Tarot, which we also carry. And now the newest edition is Steampunk Fairies. So you are a very busy lady.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, seems like it, huh? But I feel like it all happened, like all of those contracts happened a few years ago. And then I already created them, and then they all came out at the same time.
So cool.
So that's what really happened.
Oh, yeah. And Tarot of the Owls, which we had. And then you created the Tarot of the, yeah, there you go. I have that one too. Actually, it's in my bedroom, and I locked the cats in there so they don't like try to climb my shelves.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. They, Canella is saying she really loved the book, The Mandarin Tree. I did too. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what inspired you to do a deck about steampunk fairies?
So I was actually trying to brainstorm for another deck. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing like all of these steampunk fairy stuff. Like there were, figurines. And it just kept popping up, like even on the internet, stuff kept coming up. And I was like, well, Barbara Moore, who's my project manager also, she did a very popular, amazing steampunk deck. And it was like one of the best sellers. So I was like, okay, so Steampunk Fairy might also do very well. And so I reached out to her and asked her, is it okay if I do, Steampunk Fairy? Right. And she's like, yeah, go for it. She thought it would be a great idea also. And it just came really fast. And usually when that happens, I know that I'll probably get a contract when the idea just like really flows in.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure that was like divinely guided. Yeah. So Barbara's great. She's so lovely and an expert, and she's been doing this a long time. So that's a definite good mentor to work with.
Yes. And I do have to say, like all the suits are different types of fairies. Mm-hmm. And so I did go to like Akashic Records and I channeled each suit with that. So they really came and played. Like I went to like each part of their realm in the Akashic, and I was like playing with the fairies and like getting introduced to them. So that was really fun for me to do.
That's really interesting. I want to dive in a little bit deeper there. Before we do that, why don't you give an overview about what steampunk means? Because some people might not be familiar with, like, they see it, they've seen maybe the style, but like, what does steampunk represent? And then we could also talk about the fairy realm, because that's a whole nother world.
Yes. So, so if you think of like the Victorian era, so they kind of dress like that, and they're really creative and have a lot of gadgets, and a lot of their inventions are powered by steam. And so that's like steampunk. So it's a little bit of like, I think this deck is full of creativity and magic, because when I think of steampunk, it's like they have all of these like inventions that, you know, real world we might not be able to create them, but in the steampunk realm you can. And the fairies just like add a dash of like the anything is possible, anything you can bring into your life, and like the mysteries and staying curious on your path. And so for me, steampunk is it is a lifestyle. I feel like it is the lifestyle for some people. You get to like dress up, and you know there are a lot of like conventions for that, and it's really fun. And so it could be, I feel like it could be like a whole new world that people can step into.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very interesting and clever combination.
Yeah. And I didn't make this up. Like there are steampunk fairy things out there before my deck. So it wasn't something that I wish I made it up. I would have been such a genius, but it wasn't. It was already out there. You can find steampunk fairy things out there. Just the way that, you know, even their clothing, I don't think I gave too much instructions on what their clothing looked like, a little bit, but the genius behind that is Ashley Cassidy, who's my artist. She like figured out like all the details, and she nailed it.
It's really beautiful. So of course I should have had this in order, but since I've been playing with it, the one at the shop, the deck at the shop, I actually did organize with the major arcana and all of the suits, which would have been a perfect tee up for you talking about channeling it. So, okay, for the folks that might not know what the Akasha is, talk a little bit about what the Akashic records are and how you tap into the Akasha as part of your channeling, and then the fairy realm, the different types, because I like that for the different elements. And
sure. Yeah. So the Akashic Records is beyond space and time. And I always, you know, my business partner Alex and I, we teach people, we certified in Akashic Records, and I always tell them we're going up. It's really not up, it's everywhere, but just to like a visual, like we go up into the records, and it holds all of the information from our past, present, and future lives, our entire soul's lives, and even in person, place, or things. So anything, anyone is in the Akashic records. So you can go there to receive wisdom. You can activate, you know, energies there. You can heal. You can do journeys. You can meet your guides. You can do anything you desire in the records. And I think it just gives you like a space to go to, instead of like, what am I supposed to be connecting to? You know what I mean? And so we love working with the records. It's one of like our main transformational tools. And yeah, I go there to receive what I call my downloads or messages for almost everything I do.
I love that. I think that's a great way to describe it. It's funny. I was having a conversation, and during the conversation, I don't even know how it came up, but it's basically like the Library of Congress. That it's just like the largest repository of information, the culmination of all of your life's experiences, not only in this incarnation, but in the past, as well as in the future. So when you tap into it, it's from your higher self, but it's universal and everywhere.
Yeah.
So
well, we actually see a hall of records or a library in our records, and usually when we guide people up, they see it too. So there's always like a courtyard where we land in, and then there's the hall of records, the library, and then we get to explore whatever it is beyond that.
I love that. I love that. I do a lot of work with Archangel Metatron, who's known as one of the main scribes or access points into tapping into the Akasha, and accessing those records. So I think it's just fascinating. So thank you for explaining it to everybody. So when you go into your meditation and you're channeling and you're receiving these downloads, the fairies are such a whimsical realm, but there's all different kinds of fairies. So
Yes.
as you described each of the suits, I thought it was very clever how you described them. You want to go into each one and why you chose that type of fairy for each?
Yeah, so the majors is just like what we just like to call like the main fairies. We didn't really distinguish who they were, but they were just like important features.
Yeah.
Of course, the Fool is the one, she's like journeying through the majors, and so she does look a little bit younger because she's learning
Cute.
from all of the masters inside of the majors. And so we have the wands, which is the fire element, and it's the salamanders. So they are full of fire and they love adventures. I think they're so cute.
Yeah.
And the court cards actually are, so the salamanders and the other phase in the minors, they do have like a more humanoid form. So they come inside of the court cards where they are like the royals that's like helping out the community in that suit. And so the wands are the salamanders. The swords are the sprites. So they're a little bit purpley. Let me see if I have the other ones. The cups are the silkies. So you'll see that this is like her human form without her skin. But I do know that we also have like the Six of Cups, I think, is all silkies. It's the seals.
I like
silkies. Yeah. So I think she's sad in this one because her skin got stolen, right? So now she can't go back to sea.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so people that might not be familiar with what a selkie is.
Yeah. So Silky in their I guess you could say like animal fae form, they're seals, and it's really cool in this deck because they have the cogs and the mechanics on their seal skin, and so when they take off their skin, they can become human, and so they'll usually do that to come on land for like their lovers. But there are like stories where the lovers steal their skin so that they have to stay with them, and without their skin, they can't get back into the ocean. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find the little Six of Cups because there are the playful little seals in there.
Yeah.
And then the pentacles are like the little
pentacles are the gnomes.
They're like the little worker bees.
So there's like they're like digging for golds and stuff. This is a younger gnome. Yeah, there's all different gnomes.
Yeah, they're cute because those are the material. That's the suit of the material things.
I love that Five of Pentacles. I was really obsessed with mushrooms, and I was like, "Can you make a mushroom house?"
It's so,
and she's like, "Yeah."
It's so cute.
She did very, very well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like this guy, he's just hard at work, working on his craft.
Yeah.
So I love it. In the book that you get is very robust. Guys, so even if you're new to tarot, oh, there you go. It's so cute.
Of Cups.
It's really whimsical and fun. And that's what I love about your decks. The art is very evocative, like wands. If you're not sure of like what wands are, you can tell just by the art. Like it's fiery, it's passionate, it's taking action.
Yeah.
So this is the Queen of Wands, as you were talking about, like the embodiment of the persona. I love it. Cups is emotion, and the cards are very watery. So I think it's intuitive to work with. So Shanice is saying, OMG, it's Tarot, Oracle, Wonderland on the bookshelf.
You're so amazing.
It's so funny because I have like everything organized, but then actually, if you could believe it, in my bedroom, I have a separate one of these. It's just my tarot books and tarot decks. This is like Oracle. I have a problem.
Wow.
I know. Well, Crystal, this is my jam. So.
Yeah. Yes.
This is my favorite card, the star card.
That was the first card she drew.
Really?
Yeah, we submitted submitted that card. So that was the first card that she drew. And she kept like going back and like the chains and stuff, or she kept going back and adding detail. Like Ashley is like the detail queen. And she says that's like one of her downfalls because she can't stop. So she added a lot of details to that one. Yeah, that's my
beautiful.
favorite.
Yeah, no, it's really, really beautiful. So what I love in the book, so if you're an experienced reader or if you're a new reader, you give the definition, obviously, for the upright,
Yes.
and then the reverse. But then, okay, so the upright is clockwise divination meaning.
Yes.
And then if it's reverse, it's the counterclockwise divination. But I like how then you add the ignition, which is a way to like turn it around. So okay, maybe if it's a challenge for you, here are some things that you can do to get it back on track.
Yeah, I always like, I think as a coach, I don't just like to tell people what is happening, right? We can like discover the challenge and then figure out a way to move forward. And so I think that's what I really wanted to include inside the ignitions. And it was kind of a challenge for me to fit so little words.
It's very concise, guys. It's like very
book.
straight to the point.
Yeah.
And it's a color book. So like the quality of this whole deck and everything, it's not always, full color, and it's very well done. Yeah. See, look, you can see like the mechanical crab next to the overflowing cup, the Ace of Cups. It's really, really beautiful. The artwork's beautiful. The descriptions, you include a quote at the top of each. So, it's not just definitions, like it's an easy connection to that card and the energy of that card. Yeah. So, bravo. And then at the back, you do include a variety of spreads.
I did.
Yeah. So I like that. You have the Daily Fairy Guidance spread, the Abundance Engine spread, Goggles of the Future spread. So I think that's so clever. Which one did I do? I think I did the Goggles of the Future spread.
How was it?
I liked it. It was accurate. And I was like, you know what? Spot on. And I thanked the deck because it was actually very insightful. And then the Steampunk Fairy Past Life spread. I've not yet done that one. And then you leave notes. You leave a section for notes. So I think it's a great tool to work with. And it's like really fun. And I want to see what fairies are going to come up. So it's like very inviting.
Yeah, I think, I personally like future readings. I always want to know what will happen in the future. And it just gives me like a good confirmation to if I'm on the right path or if there's maybe something that I need to shift. Right. So I love future.
So let's talk about that, because today I had some customers come in and somebody goes, oh, well, like I get a little sheepish about tarot because I don't want to hear something that I don't want to know. And I said, wait a minute, let's talk about this more because you always have free will. Yes. And I personally believe that tarot provides so much insight to the current energy here and now. Like if all things remain the same, here are some likely outcomes. But once you receive the guidance and the insight, you always have free will to decision upon it.
Yes. I don't think it's set in stone. I think it's, it is where your energy and the actions that you're taking now. But if you choose to shift because you don't like your reading or, something comes up or you get advice, right? Guidance from the fairies, then you can always change it. And you can even pull cards on that. What if I do this? What if I do this instead? And see what path is easier for you. We can always choose the easier path, I think.
I think that's a really important thing. So like people that might not be as steeped in this world as we are, there's a little hesitation. They're like, oh, I don't know. But you always have free will to decision, because guess what? This is the energy right now. And then tomorrow morning, there might be totally different circumstances. The energy will shift and the readings would come up differently.
Yeah, I think that's why I do like to create decks that are more whimsical, because it'll be easier for the readers to accept. So you can't get mad at the owls or fairies or cats or categories, right?
Oh,
Like it's really hard
I want to talk
to
to you about that one next, because that is definitely one of my top 5 decks that I go to all the time. I love it.
really wow.
Well, I have three cats and they're clawing at the door trying to come out.
Oh, come,
So
come.
they're so cute. But it's so funny. I was just shuffling so I could I was like, what's the energy of the collective right now? And I think it's actually quite appropriate. This look I jumped. This is the energy. But talk to me. Do you want to talk about this card a little
Sure.
bit? And like,
Yeah.
okay.
So it does look like the 2 gnomes in the front, the one has like a crutch, and they look very down and they're in the cold and it doesn't feel very good. But you see the mushroom and the pentacles in the back, the light of the mushroom house, and it's like really welcoming them if they see it to step in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, in light of all the politics and the chaos of the astrology and everything that's going on culturally right now, there's a lot of people that are just running around like, oh, they're sad, they're grumpy, they're, a little bit like licking their wounds. But I think if we all just look up and recognize each other and say, hi, friend, hi, neighbor, like, we're all okay. We're going to stick together. We're going to just take it one step at a time. We just breathe and look at what's around us, what our resources are at this moment, like what are our options. So, the light is there. We're gonna come up, we're gonna get through this all together. So I like the path they're on. They're still moving forward.
Yes.
So
yes,
I thought it was quite appropriate. As I'm shuffling, I was like, oh well, that's a good card. So you want to talk about Catacorn a little bit right now?
sure. Yeah.
Is that okay? I
Of
know
course.
that we were scheduled to talk about steampunk fairies, but we didn't get to talk about it.
No, we didn't get to. You know what? That one launched at me because so with steampunk and my other decks with Llewellyn worldwide,
Yes.
I would send in the proposal and then I would start working on it after I had the contract. With Catacorn, I almost self-launched it. So I almost it, but I think I pitched it to Llewellyn first and they didn't want it. They loved the idea. I think it was just too cute for them. And so, I was like, this deck is calling to me. And so I actually, Delphine Dion, she's from France, my artist.
Okay.
I contacted her and I was like, I need you to be my artist. And I paid her to be my artist because I was going to self-publish. Okay. And what happened is, I met Lynn and a bunch of the US game, like Allison, crew at one of the tarot conventions. And I was talking to them and they're like, submit it here. And I was like, I can do that. And so they really loved it and they picked it up.
Yeah.
And, I had the whole manuscript and the whole art all done. And, you publishing, you just never know when it's going to be done. And so all of a sudden it was like, it's launching now. And it was like Mandarin Tree was launched and then Catacorn came out almost the same month, I think. Wow. And then it was like Steampunk is coming out. And so like all of the things, like all 3 projects wanted to be birthed, which I think is because this year is the year of the dragon, right? Like that fire energy. And so I think that's probably why.
Wow. So Mandarin Tree was Llewellyn. The Steampunk Fairy Tarot is Llewellyn. The Tarot of the Owls is also Llewellyn, right?
Yes. So everything is Llewellyn so far, except for Catacorn. Right. And then Alex and I actually have a deck coming out, 2 decks coming out with Hay House, and one is actually Akashic Soul Oracle. So this is Akashic Soul Oracle. So we're gonna have so this is next year probably. Not yet.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's so awesome. Somebody's saying, can you show the owl? I know. It's a beautiful deck, the Tarot of the Owls. Yeah.
The artist is Elizabeth Alba, and she drew the Everyday Witch Tarot. So this has really been actually, this is one my most popular deck. I mean, I don't have that much decks out, but this is the one that is like flew off the shelf.
You have a lot. Yeah. You do, actually. I mean, listen. I have no decks, so
you have all the decks behind you.
I collect all the decks. It's so funny. I'm like, ooh, I like this, and I ferret them into my bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this combines cats and unicorns, and they live in a whimsical fairy place.
Yes.
I just love them.
Well, so my first self-published deck was Crystal Unicorn Tarot,
Okay.
and that went in 2018, and that did very well. For some reason, no publisher wants to pick that up. And
Really?
I don't like self-publish. I don't like sending out decks anymore. It's just not my thing, especially doing it in COVID. It was just a whole thing,
Right.
and I no more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I retired that, and then Catacorn, kind of like Steampunk Fairy, Catacorn just kept showing up. And I was like, okay, let's go with it.
Well, I'm so grateful because I tell everybody because I'm such a cat lover.
So I actually got really lucky finding my artists. I think all my artists are amazing, and I lucked finding them. So with the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, it was my best friend's best friend. She like created clothing. She's a clothing designer, but she drew a cute unicorn. So it was her. And then for the Tarot of the Owls, I actually knew Elizabeth because we did like giveaways together. And so when I submitted the owl deck to Llewellyn, I messaged Elizabeth and I was like, hey, I just submitted a deck and it's owl and I'm hoping they'll ask you. And I told her a little bit about it and she's like, I want to do it. And so I messaged Barb and I'm like, Elizabeth, it wants to be my artist. And so they came back at me and said, you only get the contract if Elizabeth is your artist.
Really?
And so so I was like, new author, they don't know,
Sure.
So so that worked out really well.
Art is beautiful on that one. I don't know because mine's not here. If you want to show some of the cards, they're really beautiful.
I don't know where my cards are. I think it's on the floor. I was here are some in the back.
Yeah, the colors are really bright, and there's all different kinds of owls, and owls are just so wise and lovely. Yeah.
And then Steampunk Fairy Tarot, actually, Llewellyn found the artist, and it was like one of the first artists they found, and I was just like, yes, and we got in. And then Catacorn, I find people through Instagram. Okay. And so, or like referrals, but you have to, so there's a certain way that you have to draw though. You have to be able to draw like the person or the animal, or a person and animal if it's in the deck, and the background. A lot of artists, like Witchland Academy Tarot, that's my first deck with Llewellyn. My artist didn't really draw the background good because she was a manga artist. Okay. So they only draw the character, you know what I mean? Right. And so we had to like help her, teach her how to draw the background. It was crazy.
These are very detailed. I mean,
Ashley is like detail queen. She actually teaches artists. So she does the digital. It looks incredible. And the cover, this is actually me. She drew me.
I was gonna say it looks like you. I love it. It's so funny because I had that card pulled. This is the moon. Yeah, this is the moon card, and I was like, "That's you."
Yeah. And she didn't. We didn't even pick the cover. Llewellyn picked it.
I love it.
They know that was me, but
it's so cute. Yeah, I mean, like, look at how fun this little fire salamander is surfing on the wand with the cogs. It's just like action. And then
do you have the strength card? I'll show you a secret. No, not the strength. The lovers. I'm sorry, the lovers card.
Let's see.
So, Ashley and I are both obsessed with like K-pop, Korean pop.
So fun. So you know the fun fact, Dina's daughter used to be obsessed with K-pop, so she used to like take her to concerts and stuff.
Oh, okay, then maybe you can also show her and ask her, because she made I didn't tell her to, but she did it. The lovers, the green fairy on the lovers is B from BTS.
Oh my god,
that's like him. Oh, you guys can't really see it, but that's supposed to be from BTS.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I'm gonna show her.
Yeah, and it does kind of look like him. Yeah,
that is really cute.
So that was something she threw in there. And then the strength, I said strength because it's supposed to be Rosie, but I don't know if it really looks like her. But yeah,
so cute.
We had it all planned. We had like G-Dragon for the Emperor and all this stuff, but we kind of forgot about it. We forgot because like things are happening, so all that didn't happen, but she did get B in BTS, yeah.
I think it's so fun and whimsical. Like, okay, last night, so I just found out that my divorce is finalized and I could not be happier.
Congratulations.
Thank
Wow.
you. So we went out to dinner and I was like, this is me and my girls. We are out celebrating.
Yeah.
Like, just like having a great time dancing around in the forest, cheersing our cups. Like, that is the epitome of Three of Cups celebration.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm just like, yay. Like it's very intuitive and friendly and fun.
Yeah.
And I tell people there's so many different choices of tarot decks. You have to find one that you connect with.
Yeah.
But if you really like enjoy it and there's so much interesting art and great descriptions that you connect with, you're going to be so much more inclined to use that as part of your regular habits and behavior, right?
Yeah, and I think it's really cool that, Ashley was able to like draw all shapes and forms and a lot of like if you see the smaller fairies, it's probably because they're Asian. So I kidding, I'm just kidding. But so like I did ask her to like make them more Asian looking. I don't know if it came through, but
Yeah.
I do that. Even though their skin was like different colors. But I wanted to like include I don't think Asians are included in a lot of decks at all. Actually, there are included, but not a lot of Asians. So if you do find like, oh, why is this fairy so small? Then it's probably an Asian fairy.
I like that. I think it's important for inclusion and representation of every type. And you do that. Like the fact I was just holding up the Hierophant. That is that's not traditional by any means.
That's a beautiful. She did amazing.
I mean, the Hierophant is usually like an elder,
Man.
old, stoic person, man of authority. And here's this regal, robust, gorgeous woman of color with like whimsical fairies helping her. Like, she's gorgeous.
Yes.
So fun. So, what more about you? You love to have fun. You coach people. You create things. You travel. Like, I don't know where you find the time. Like, what more should our users know about you? Because I'm lucky enough to have had a little bit of personal fun with you, but we need to plan more. Come to New York.
Alex and I was just talking to Alex about you because I was like, I'm doing an interview today, and I was like, we could probably do our deck launch for Galactic Star Tarot in New York.
That would be great.
And so I was like, I'll reach out to, Danielle when that happens. But I do live, I actually just came back from Florida and I got like, sinus and allergies. So that was a lot, but we got to go to like, I haven't been to like Disney World. So our friends took us to like Epcot, Disney World.
How'd you like it?
It was really cool. It was like the wine and food festival, and so it's super unique and a lot of walking.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. I really enjoyed Florida. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And I actually I have a deck that's in creation right now, and I have another besides the Hay House decks, but I have one more with Llewellyn, and I just got a book contract with Llewellyn.
Congrats.
So I haven't announced the title yet, but I know a book is coming out in winter or sometime soon, spring. I don't know. The next catalog, and it's Wealth Witchery.
Oh,
so that's a book with Llewellyn that's coming out next. That would be promotion too. So I'm really excited for that book because I think they want to see how abundance and wealth magic and money is going to work in that in magic in that area, because
I think it's great because there's a lot of people that have blockages about money, and it's one of the top questions that people come in and they say, I really want to manifest, I really want to draw abundance. So something so straightforward with all different techniques in an easy to follow manner and format, I think that that's going to be really well received. So I'm excited to order that, and we'll do this again.
Well, the mandarin tree touches a little bit about, but you don't get like the entire reprogramming of your mind
Right.
until you get witchery. Like it's really everything that I learned in my 20, 30 years of not having money to using money to manifest my
Yeah.
business and being able to quit my job to where I am right now, and like all of my books and decks. So I really do believe anybody could do it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is awesome. So it's so funny. Canella just did all sorts of like money bags
I
and
saw.
stuff. She's actually gonna come with me to Florida, so we may hit up Epcot together.
Yeah. I actually probably would have went into the animal kingdom
Mm,
where all the animals are. I
yeah.
think that would have been cool. That would have been cool. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
But that was just a different, like you're in a whole new world. Like I can't believe like it's that big.
It's
like I knew that it was big, but I didn't know it was like that big.
It's hard to get your head around until you're actually there and you're like, how is this possible? But nothing's impossible, like you said, if you can imagine it.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. We have a ton of these in stock, and I sent you book plates so that those of you who are on the on this live as well as want to purchase the deck, we're going to have book plates by Pam to accompany that. You can put it on the deck itself. You can open it, and even though it's so pretty and decorated, you can put it here, you can put it on the back, wherever you want. Or just keep it in there if you don't want to put the sticker on it.
Yeah.
But we do have that available. And I don't know, do you want to pull a card for the collective? Does anybody on the live have any questions?
Yeah,
because
sure.
I can just keep asking questions, but let's see.
We can. I'll pull a card for the collective for now.
I like that.
If anybody has any questions, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I get the Hierophant. Yeah.
Oh, the Hierophant, she comes up again.
Yeah, so I think we're breaking from like society norms, right? All the rules, and you're like being your own leader and standing out with kind of like the rebel, but honoring history. But now we get to step out, and you get to be your own leader. If you are in like a fork in the road, and you're deciding if you should do something, then I think it's always a yes, right? And go out and make your mark on the world. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, she's a badass. I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah.
Good depiction.
Yeah, that's always like a like high priest. High priestess also, but like a leadership card to me. Like it's time for you to step out and be the teacher.
Definitely. So for the folks that are just early in their spiritual awakening, or they're looking to further develop their gifts and to deepen their practice using tarot cards, oracle cards, like what do you have as some points of advice for a new practitioner?
So I would get a card or get the deck that draws you in by like the artwork. So if you love the artwork, more chances of you will connect with it and you'll actually use it, right? Like your Catacorn, you're like cats.
Oh, love.
There's so many options out there now, and just let the cards pick you, right? And I think there's like a myth about people have to gift you the cards. That's not true. Right. You can go out, you can buy it at Amityville. It's fine. Perfect. And I'll make sure to throw in some magic when I'm signing the nameplate, so you get even more magic with that. And I would just so I always like to open the deck, and I like to look through every card. And I like to maybe like introduce myself to every card and read the guidebook to see what this energy is of. And when I do the readings, actually, when I was starting out, I remember that it was really complicated trying to remember everything, right? You're like, I have to remember this. Even though there's a system, in time, you will learn the system with practice. But if you just want to look at the card, right, just pick a card and be like, okay, is she happy? Are they happy? Do they look happy on the card? Do they look sad? What are they doing? Are they offering something? What is around them? What sticks out to you? What are the colors? And with those symbols, you can probably guess what the card means, right? Like the 5 of Cups, she was like crying on a beach. Yeah. Obviously, it's not going to be a yes, go for it card. Okay? Right. to kind of use our common sense too. And I would pull a card a day. So every morning I used to like pull a card. I mean, I still do it.
Yeah.
I would pull a card to see what the energy of the day is or what's coming up for me. And I would actually write it down. I would journal. So I would journal on what my first impression of the card is using my intuition. And then I would look at the guidebook because it is there for a reason. I think the author did channel it or, write the book.
Yep.
And so then I would look at the guidebook and see what sticks out to me and write it down. Then at the end of the day or tomorrow morning, you could come back and be like, review your day and what has happened. Did it match up?
Right.
So I remember once I was like, when I was still working at my job, I was a dealer at the casino for over 15 years. And I didn't want to go to work. I was like, I don't want to go to work today. And it was like a Wednesday, usually slow, and I pulled a card. What happens if I go to work? Ace of Cups. Okay, what happens if I don't go to work? I forgot what it was, but it wasn't a bad card. I'm like, I'm just not going to go to work. And then the next day, everybody was like texting me, oh my gosh, we made like $500. It was like a lot of money that day. And I was like, damn, Ace of Cups overflowing with abundance. Yep. I was like, I could have went to work. But then now I have like my personal experience attached to that card. And so next time if you ask me a question, I pull the Ace of Cups, I'm going to be like, go to work.
I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your point of reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very simple with tarot. I ask yes or no questions. We use it to map out everything, our business, our scheduling. Is this to go on vacation, anything, right? So I'll ask, what happens if I do this? What happens if I join this program? What happens if we schedule it on this date? I'll pull a card. If it looks happy, right? Rainbows, yes. 10 of Cups. Yeah. Then I'll do it. If it looks not so happy, I'm probably not going to do it.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. I think, a lot of people need to understand these are just divination tools or an extension and a physical way just to channel our highest self and to reaffirm and validate what we already know in our core. Yes. But sometimes we're a little bit biased or a little bit scared. So these serve as like friendly tools just to say like, all right, what's the energy? Like, should I really trust my God? And if it's like, girlfriend, check yourself, you're like, oh, maybe I should wait. Like, let me dig a little bit deeper into that, and if you get like a 3 of Swords, heartache's coming. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. I like that explanation. Never with thought for yes or no. Yeah. So, I do coach a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, and a lot of blocks are around pricing. Right? How much should I charge? Am I worthy of charging this much? Is anybody going to sign up? Am I not charging enough? Right. And so we actually give them a system using the tarot cards to price their offers, because that's what we do. Oh. And it always works out. And you kind of like let go, because now it's like, it's not your choice. Well, it is still our choice, right. but we trust the cards. Trust me, I've done things against my cards, and I was like, oh, I should have listened to the cards. So now we 100% listen to the cards.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And, that validates the conversation I was having with clients today. She said, oh, well, I have these gifts and I don't really know. And I said, but are you meditating every day? It's like a muscle. Yeah. It's a skill. So the more you do it, it becomes more dependable, more reliable. You start channeling like in your mind's eye. Oh, what those symbols mean. If you're clairvoyant, you understand that if you're seeing or getting the image of like a white rose, it may be forgiveness or peace. Like same thing with the cards. It becomes a tool that you can consistently rely upon. And the more you interact with them, it's just an extension of yourself. And you're like, oh, Emily Munoz created a great Lenormand deck. It's Simplicity Lenormand. And my friends and I laugh and we're like, it is so straightforward. It's like that honest friend that's going to be like, girlfriend, let me give it to you straight. And like, so now I'll just be like, wait, let me check the deck. And I just do it real quick. And it's going to tell me straight out whether it's gentle or not. I'm not going to do it,
And I think sometimes like, you know, the cards might mean different things from you than what it actually is.
Yeah.
So judgment, my business partner, that's like her card. She loves judgment.
Okay.
I don't know why, but didn't really, I mean, I didn't really have an opinion. It wasn't good or bad for me, but she loves it. And so when we do pull it, we know it is aligned because she's so connected to it.
Is she a
So you'll also,
Libra?
no. So she is, what is she? So she is a Leo in Vedic astrology.
Oh,
So we use
okay.
Vedic astrology instead of Western. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
I like
You can,
Vedic. It's something I'd like to learn more about. I like that system.
I like Vedic too. We could just like really pinpoint like it. I think it's really specific on like your, you know, I like the divination, right? Since if
Mm-hmm.
we can like look back in the past to exact date and she'll know what has happened in my life. Or if we look into the future, then we can see, oh, you're just coming out of this period and in, you know, April 2nd, 2025, you're going to be good. And I
Hmm.
think that, you know, that makes me feel a lot better. Like if you're in some kind of challenging situation and you're just
Right.
like, oh, I could just hold on until
Yeah.
April, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's important. You know, you have to know if it's an auspicious date or not, or like, you know, it's like during periods of retrograde
She's actually,
when Mercury's in.
oh,
Hmm?
sorry. Yeah. No, I was gonna say she's actually gonna post something about tomorrow because it's like full moon, getting out of Aries, all the Mars inner in Vedic, all the Mars energy, Saturn direct, Sun coming out of Libra. And so she said there's like a million things going on tomorrow. She's making a post about it. I'll have it on my page too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out because there's a lot of energy that is not favorable right now.
Yeah. It
Pluto's
will be
doing.
tomorrow. Tomorrow it'll be done. Tomorrow's shift.
Okay,
So
good.
we're good tomorrow, she says.
I think everyone's ready for a shift, and then
Yeah.
soon Pluto's gonna go into Aquarius,
They
and
don't do
then
Pluto. There's
no in
there's no
Vedic.
Pluto in Vedic.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
in tradition,
Western.
in the tradition,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Someone mentioned Pluto today too. But yeah, Vedic they don't really work with Pluto. Yeah.
yeah. Well, in traditional, Pluto's on my sun. It's conjunct, so it's definitely doing the most, and it's wreaking a little havoc, even though it's small, it's mighty.
Oh.
I know. I'm like, got it. Can we stop now? Can we cut it out? You know?
Yeah.
But it's all intertwined, and that's the great thing about all aspects of metaphysics. So if you're into Vedic astrology, traditional Western, or tarot, or even oracle,
Yeah.
or penduluming, you know, there
It's
you
all.
get there. You
Yeah.
know, James Devine just came and did an event. He taught us all palmistry, which there's so
Oh,
many aspects that you can learn from your
in your
palms
palm.
too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I do like to use Western astrology and like the equinoxes for magic because I
I
do
like
think like, practical magic is embedded into the Western astrology. So I do,
interesting.
and yeah.
So,
So like the systems are just more aligned for me anyway. Yeah.
so what are some of the rituals that you do when you do tarot work? What are some magic rituals that you do along with your tarot practice?
Yeah. So I like to create altars. So I have actually a business altar in back. I don't know if you can
Okay.
see.
You have
Right
your
there.
money toad?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
I
course.
do. It's downstairs facing the door, and then I like to do like candle rituals,
Mm.
and you know, I add all of the herbs, corresponding herbs, candles, colors, crystals, and tarot. So I'll put tarot. I'll pick cards that I want to use, like infuse the energy. I'll put it around, and when we do the ritual, I'll open the space, and then I'll infuse it with what we call the awakened bliss codes. That's like kind of like Reiki, but we call it Reiki on steroids. It's something that Alex channeled, and it's basically symbols, and I blast it. I call it blasting, but you don't have to blast it. I blast it into the ritual, and we'll chant or light language, whatever comes, whatever flows, and then we'll, you know, say our invoking, and then we'll light the candle, and then just
Cool.
have it there. For business, I will do that. I will do a ritual first, and then I'll take that. I'll usually do a jar. So I do like a magical jar and then light a candle on top of it. And then I put it on my altar. And then every day I'll light a smaller candle. to keep up with the energy, you know, with our business. So usually if we're launching a program like your Alchemy Academy,
Yeah.
then every day that we're launching, I'll light a candle and say the intention again and visualize and send it more energies and ABC codes. And then it just helps, keeps everything alive.
Yep, absolutely. It fuels
Yeah.
and maintains the intention. I think that's great. Cool.
Mhm.
Well, that's a lot of different options for people to consider and to dive into. So I love it. You're so multifaceted, and it comes through in your entire practice and everything that you create and the classes and the activities that you participate in. I think it's great, and it's very innovative too. So, how can people follow you?
Yeah. You
Talk.
follow me on Instagram, Pamela Unicorn. So whatever is coming up, whatever I'm launching, it's all on my Instagram. And we have websites, but you can find it in like the link in my bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So stay tuned, guys. She will definitely be coming to New York for the next project that we're able to get her out for. But we do have this book, this deck in stock, and I recommend it. It's really fun. It's whimsical. It's playful, but yet it connects. Like it really, the message is there, and I'm enjoying it. So.
I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm so glad you love all the decks. Thank you.
Oh, I'm such a fan, you know, I'm so glad to know you. And I wish you absolutely like the best moving forward with all of your new projects. I'm excited for all of them actually, like the Akashic Oracle that's coming up and the money magic. It's gonna
The money,
be
yeah, Wealth Witchery. That one was that one was that one was actually came really easy because it was like my wisdom that you already know. I didn't really have to research a lot of things. I've been working on money magic for a really long time. And then the next book is also a wisdom book. So I'll be writing, I'll share. I usually like to share when I'm a little bit deeper into the project. I only got signed like last month, so I
yeah, no,
haven't started yet.
it's still in the baby
It's
stages, so
still in
I won't.
stage. Yeah.
Good.
But I think we're going to go to you for Galactic Star Tarot. So for those of you that are into like star beings, you know, the Arcturians, the Lyrans, the Palladians, and all of that, Alex and I actually host retreats and we make contact. And so she's actually like the galactic priestess. She knows like the whole galactic history coming into our galaxy, all of that. I'm just really learning from her and experiencing. But we create a Galactic Star Tarot, and it's very beautiful. It's very magical, and it's like out of this world. So we'll probably contact you that'll be a big launch for us.
Yeah.
K House. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I have a friend that I said is definitely like an alien.
Oh
But
yeah.
she channels light language and knows about all the different,
Yeah.
the Pleiadians and the Arcturians. So I know our audience has a very active appetite for that. So we can dive deeper into that when that one comes out. Because that's like that'll be another hour of discussion.
Yeah, I mean, Alex and I, we just like hashtag spiritual weirdos. Like, we know we're weird, and it's like, and we invite everyone who wants to explore like beyond Earth.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was like Earth magic. I really got into the practical magic, the Earth magic, and I didn't even think beyond that. I don't know. You just don't, right? And then when I merged with her with my business, she was actually my student. She took business from me. And then when we merged, then I got into I was like, my mind was blown. Like, wow, there's like more. I mean, we know with astrology, but there is like more.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That's so fun, and I'm excited for you. And I'm just so thrilled. So it's great to reconnect. It's been a minute, so we're definitely overdue.
Yeah.
Does anybody, before we wrap it up, does anybody on the live have any questions?
Yeah. I can't wait to meet your kitties. They'll be at the store. Are they store
No,
kitties?
because they're so the baby was born under Dina's shed in the backyard. So I had two, and then she's like, "You got to get this kitten." So you want to see them? I can go get them. Hold on a minute. Phoenix is huge. He's like 14 pounds. So let me see who I can get. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Wow. I know. I wish I can. So my boyfriend won't let me have inside animals We've only had 2 parakeets inside, Georgie, and but he won't let me have inside animals, so we just have outside animals. We have chickens. Oh my gosh, hi!
This is Gigi.
You.
So she has a little snaggletooth, and
Oh,
she's my oldest. So she's a
oh, hi, Jeannie.
little Siberian forest cat.
Wow, I love
And yeah, she's a good girl. And then Phoenix, come here.
in person. Yes, we host private in-person retreats. Yeah. Oh,
He's
hi.
he's just 1 year old, but he's like 14 pounds. So he's my
Whoa.
big lover. I know, my big fluffy boy.
Wow.
Oh,
I love how fluffy they are.
they are. And then this is Bastet. Hold on. Come here. Oh, I
Mr.
think
Love.
she must. Yeah.
Wow.
So she's my little panther.
Hi.
And she's only like 5 pounds. She's little but long.
Little.
So she was in the shop. People have met her.
Oh, hi. Yeah, she's very magical. She's like, let me get out of here.
I know. She wants to play with the other ones. And now that I've freed them, they're like rolling around and stuff.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Boyfriend won't let me have inside animals, so I can only have outside chickens.
Well, the chickens are so fun. Do they like follow you around? You're like, come here, girls.
If they're
and like
hungry, sure, yeah. They're hungry, they'll follow you anywhere. Yeah. They're like pets. They only come to me when they want something from me, you know.
Right.
And if you like, only a few cuddle. The ones I raised from chicks, but like they won't. If you want to do something with them, they won't unless they want to.
Do you have the one with like the big plume on the top of
No.
the head?
He actually doesn't like those ones.
He doesn't. I love those with like the big feet, the fluffy feet.
Yeah, he doesn't. The silkies, I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're really fluffy, like almost. No, I love them too, but he doesn't like them. So
you could tell I like the fluffy ones. So
Yeah, the Polish have this, and then the silkies have the fur, the feathers. We have we have 2 barnyard mix. I don't know what they are. But she looks but she's mean. She doesn't like me. I didn't raise her. We got her from a farm. So I wanted to keep her. She was cute, but then she doesn't like me.
Oh, well. You know what's so funny? I did an exchange to Venezuela during high school. I was there for, I lived with a family a long time ago when I was like 15, 16. But there, around Easter time, they had boxes like in the city, and they would use food dye to like color.
I've seen that on TV.
The chicks. And I brought home this little purple chick, and I named him Grimace, and he was like my little pet chicken, and I kept him in my room. But he didn't do well in the house. He didn't last very long in the house, and they were like, "What are you doing with this chick?" I loved him. He was so cute.
They do make a mess.
Yeah. But it was sweet. It was sweet. But that's the things that they do down there, like
that's crazy. Yeah.
They were like hot pink and purple, and I was like, I need this purple chick.
Oh, the chicks are so cute, but he said he's done after this round of chickens, then we're done, he says.
All right. Well, you get good eggs.
We get good eggs. I don't even eat eggs.
Oh my God. You're so funny.
We have all these eggs, give them away.
Farm fresh eggs are delicious.
Way better. Yeah. I do ask them for feathers for magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So they give me some feathers for magic. So thank you.
Very cool. Awesome. It's so good to catch up with you, Pamela. I adore you. I am so happy for you. Congratulations on all of this stuff. Stay in touch with me, okay?
Yes. Hopefully see you soon in New York.
Yeah. Absolutely. And those of you that want to get Steampunk Fairy Tarot, we have it at the shop. So you can message us. You can buy it right on the website. And Pam's going to be sending me back the nameplates very soon. So you'll get that with your copy.
Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Take care, honey. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye.